U.S. versus China. Trade tensions reach a new peak. Things are heating up fast between the U.S. and China. This trade war is unlike anything we've seen before. Recently, the U.S. imposed a staggering 245% tariff on Chinese goods. Yes, you heard that right, 245%. This sharp increase signals just how serious the U.S. is about holding its ground. China, it seems, didn't expect this level of commitment. For a long time, China believed the U.S. might back off. But now it's clear. America isn't stepping down. And with the U.S. also strengthening trade deals with other nations, especially countries starting with B, possibly hinting at Brazil, Bangladesh, or others, China faces the threat of being left out on the global stage. For the first time, Chinese officials are showing signs of pressure. They're now saying they're open to talking with the U.S. again. That's a major shift. They've publicly stated they're ready for dialogue, a move that shows how seriously they're taking the current situation. This doesn't mean Trump will jump into talks right away. He's known for standing firm and not giving in easily. His approach is simple. Don't fold under pressure, and don't negotiate just for the sake of appearances. That strategy seems to be working, because now China is realizing that the U.S. won't back down just to make peace. Chinese officials have acknowledged they may need to engage more directly, possibly even setting up a meeting between President Trump and President Xi Jinping. If that happens, it could open the door to easing tensions. Meanwhile, many big Chinese companies are preparing for long-term effects. They're facing real challenges, and this economic standoff could leave a lasting impact on their global business. So where do we go from here? Talks may happen, but only on equal terms. Both sides now understand that this won't be a quick or easy fix. U.S. China tariff war. Things just got more serious. The U.S. has just raised the stakes again in the ongoing trade war with China. After China slapped a 125% tariff in response to earlier moves by the U.S., President Trump announced a major escalation, increasing tariffs to 145%, bringing the total tariff impact up to 245% on some Chinese goods. This is a serious blow to China. The pressure is now so intense that Chinese officials have finally said they're open to talks. They've made it clear they're ready to negotiate, but the U.S. isn't likely to back down just because China asks. The Trump administration has taken a firm stance. They won't be intimidated, and they won't lower tariffs under pressure. That's a message China is starting to understand. Trump isn't the type to give in easily, and this strategy has left Chinese officials reconsidering their approach. Chinese President Xi Jinping is reportedly getting advice from top advisors about how to manage this situation and how to avoid appearing weak on the global stage. There's also concern in China about public perception. People across the country are watching how their government handles the growing tension. Meanwhile, negotiations have quietly started behind the scenes. If a deal is reached, tariffs could be lowered. But if not, the damage to China's economy could be significant, especially for its biggest companies. Some Chinese businesses had been preparing for a prolonged trade war. They've moved manufacturing, rebranded products, and even changed their pricing strategies. But all of that may not be enough if these tariffs stick. China is now at a turning point. They can choose to keep fighting and risk long-term damage, or they can try to settle things through respectful negotiations, without appearing to give in. Either way, the outcome of this trade war could reshape the global economy. The market